Hey everyone. It's the end of September, and because we haven't had a lot of content at all this past week, I thought, why not do the October outlook for Near Vision and Near Vision Awakened units a little bit sooner than usual. I usually do this on Sundays, or on the last Sunday of the month, or the very first one of the month, but this time 2 weeks of consecutive, or 4 weeks of consecutive raid events. I think it's kind of boring with nothing in between, no challenges, etc. So today we are looking at the October 2021 Near Vision and Near Vision Awakened units. I'm actually surprised my list for September was spot on. The only thing that I missed was the dates. But yeah, let's see how we fare this time around, right? So we'll start things off with the usual things that we can actually expect, and that is another global exclusive unit. We are getting one on Thursday with Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider event, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we were to see at least one more unit that is entirely tied into Dark Visions, not Dark Visions, Clash of Wills, excuse me. And I think it's fair to say that no matter what happens, we will always see one global exclusive unit going forward, because Clash of Wills, I think it's pretty popular outside these super hard bosses such as Kairos. So chances are good we're gonna get at least one global exclusive unit per month, and October shouldn't be any different. And since October is also the month of Halloween, we can expect at least something for October 28th, which is just a few days shy of Halloween. And I do have mixed feelings about this, mainly because it's going to be either be just Ibarra updates, which I wouldn't personally mind. They could just make Ibarra a great Clash of Wills unit by changing some of her abilities or adding EX abilities, for example, at unlocked at EX plus 2 and 3, which I know some people won't like if they're at EX plus 3, but honestly that'd be something I could see them doing. Or maybe we will get an entirely new Halloween unit. I wouldn't mind that as well. The last couple ones we got I liked, especially Ibarra. Ibarra was, at first I was like, do I really want to pull for her last year? But fast forward to right now, and I think, yeah, she was one of the best investments I've made in the game when I pulled for her. So looking forward to that. But let's get to some actual units. One that everyone probably is expecting, and rightfully so, is Roca. Roca is on a mocking banner. She is, oops, excuse me, pen fell out of my hand. Roca is a super limit burst unit. She is mainly a supporter, so she technically is our very first supporting super limit burst unit, and has a, let's say, weird Trust Master. It's that 40% Trust Master killers with Fairy and Stone. I don't know why they keep doing this, but we've seen this happening with Cyan, for example. The Trust Master, which is also a materia, has 50% magic on top of it, which makes this, I mean, it's okay, but it's just that 40% is such a weird number. Her Super Trust Master close 64 magic and 42 defense, so she's not that bad, not as bad as Nicole or Thunder Sakura. She has 50% Earth resistance, 100% stop resistance, and also has 50% Fairy and Stone killer, physical and magical, which is really good. I like her STMR a lot. It's a great one as well. So yeah, finally a support unit with a decent Super Trust Master, right? The Vision card, on the other hand, I feel like is bad. It's at level 10 you gain 50 base attack, magic, spirit, and defense, and a total of 18 MP recovery per turn from the passives. The passives, they are unlocked, so everyone can use it, but I mean, it would have been cool for Kairos at least the MP recovery, but not really feeling that vision card, honestly. So how good is Roca? Roca has one unique selling point, one really cool ability I was hoping to get one day, and that is she has cooldown reduction. One is on her super limit burst, where she reduces the cooldown by 2 turns for a single unit, and she has an ability, cooldown ability that does the same, which I think it's such a cool feature, and I'm kind of sad to see that Alum, who made this unit obviously, thought of this, but they never pursued the opportunity. So units that are coming after Roca and Paus, Paus is also one of the units that we're getting most likely. None of them actually wanted or needed that cooldown reduction. So the idea, awesome, but it's never been used, honestly, from what I've gathered. So my hope is that it's somehow maybe used via global exclusive units. We'll see though. Other than that, like I said, the STMR is great. She's an amazing Earth amplifier, and her super limit burst comes with a 300% LB buff for the party. So you don't need that, what's his name, Zidane STMR anymore, especially if you're on an Earth team with Roca. She does that basically for you. However, as you can see on the bad side of things, she does not have 400% stats, only 300%, and the 300% stat buff is also tied to her super limit burst. But basically, she is Earth Nicole, but good. And one thing I also like about Roca is her perfect dispel for a single enemy. It's on demand, you can spam it whenever, wherever you like. So that's good. And the bad things, I mean, SLB units, they really depend on your EX level. She has no Earth Imperil innately, so you need to bring someone who does that for you. And like I said, the vision card, I think is super bad. Excuse me, my voice is kind of shaky these days. Yeah, so should you pull Roca? I don't know. She is Earth Nicole and Earth Sakura for that matter, but so much better, especially with the cooldown reduction and stuff. There might be some cool cooldown tricks for Clash of Worlds whenever you need cooldowns to come off sooner, but it all depends on how what bosses want you to do, how they're supposed to be dealt with. So it's just a little bit wonky right now. I don't see an immediate use for Roca, neither in Dark Visions nor in Clash of Worlds. So I'd say the best course of action would be just skipping her or getting her from tickets, but actively pulling, not so sure, especially because the cooldown reduction gimmick, it's not being used that much. Next up is Paus, or Paus, probably Paus pronounced. She's also a super limit burst unit. And yeah, Trustmaster is a rope with 50 magic, 31 defense, again 40 killers to avian and insect. And Super Trustmaster is, for whatever reason they thought about this just now, is a 200 true double hand magic materia. So it's pretty much Cloud's STMR, but for mages. We've been waiting for this quite a long time. I am happy it's finally here. Too bad it's on a unit that I'm personally not gonna pursue. Vision card, because Paus is releasing with Roca, so they share the same vision card. It's basically unusable for Paus because she is mainly a LB chain finisher, super limit burst LB light finisher, 32 hits. So you'd actually want a good magic card and not this one. So how good is she? She has a strong super limit burst at 300x. It's still 50x off from Tifa and Sephiroth, but all things considered, it's good. Her TMR is decent, her STMR is great. And if you are pairing her against avians, she can deal a lot of damage because she has 200% avian killer innately or passively, and thus gearing isn't an issue. However, as you can see, the bad side of things is quite large. It's minor things, but the minor things, they quickly add up, right? So she doesn't have a 45% self-amp for light. She only has, I believe, 30 or 35. She only has 100% avian and insect killer on her super limit burst for herself. Only a 125 light imperil on the enemy on her super limit burst, which I feel like is a criminal. If you're making a super limit burst unit, it should be at least 130% imperil to the element the unit is using. 120 or 125 is just an insult to anyone pulling for these units. Kit super bare bones still. 2 materia slots are fixed for Paus because she only has a 5x cap innately, so you're gonna need indestructible light or equip helm with the Clash of Wills helm because she cannot wear helmets innately. And you're gonna need her own STMR to max true double hand magic. So 2 material slots are gone already. And then you still have to somehow magically cap her magic, killers, and limit burst damage. And if you want to make this work for any other race other than avian or insect, it's going to get ugly. And this is one of the reasons I dislike super limit burst units, because the upside of having no brave shift should be less restrictive gearing choices. And here we are, 2 out of 4 material slots are fixed. I think it's bad design. Also, again, the vision card is bad. So yeah, should you pull, while she can deal high amounts of burst damage, she just doesn't cut it in too many aspects, and I've just listed them. And mainly her main deal is Dark Visions, that one light stage you want to use her on, but there are other many viable options with the units we've gotten so far, especially the Clash of Wills focused units that still work kind of very well in Dark Visions, so there's literally no reason to pull for Paus, honestly, other than for the STMR. Yeah, she will most likely not see play in Clash of Wills. A, because she's a super limit burst unit, and B, she does require you a better light buffer, which we only really have Aerith for. You could argue Ling is there too, but Aerith is the peak of the pack, right, or the lead of the pack right now with the 45%. I just don't see her happening in Clash of Wills at all. And with Paus and Roca, we are also getting we are supposed to, let's say it that way, we're supposed to get 2 more New Vision Awakened units. One is Daisy. Daisy is one of the latest units. She hasn't been released too long ago, but here we are, she's getting her NVA. In her base form, she only gains a new cover, and a lot of passives, as you can see. And one of the passives is this one here, the autocast. It is a preemptive cover that she gains, which is pretty cool. Other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. I like that she's gaining a magic spell, 15% Earth Amp and Earth Imbue for the party, which is cool. I like it. Her Brave Shift. I like the sprite. The sprite looks really cool. She's still a tank. A little bit better than in the base form, as you can see. And the crazy thing is her damage mitigation, her Grandis, right? 99% physical and magical damage taken reduction to all allies, including herself, from fairies and stones. That is actually really cool. I guess we're gonna need this for something. Not sure, but I like the outlook. So if there's any super strong fairy or stone boss in the future, maybe Clash of Wills for example, that'd be cool. But yeah, other than that, nothing too fancy, I'd say. I mean, she is really good against fairies and stone monsters. Her limit bursts in the Brave Shift also 75% physical magical damage taken reduction from fairies. It's good, right? And yeah. Moving on. And next up is Cleome. Cleome doesn't really gain much in her base form, as you can see. That is all she gains. Her limit burst is exactly the same. It does not upgrade from 7-star to NV. NVA. The same applies to base form Daisy, by the way. Base form Daisy's limit burst does not change. So yeah, she gains some static attack, auto LB fill, more static attack, so 1.5k static attack on top of things. Reaper and Machina Killer, so it's good. Some decent upgrades, but she's still not relevant in terms of damage. And the Brave Shift. She does not have 300% attack buff for whatever reason on her Grandis. But at least she's got that 200 LB damage increase, so that's something. And other than that, she's a single hit LB finisher. It's a stacking LB, 230x max. For an NVA, this can be considered quite good. But with all things considered, 300x LB SLB finishers or Tifa Sephiroth with their 350x LBs, yeah, she's far behind, but for an NVA unit, that's okay. I don't mind it at all. And I truly believe Mediena, she was here last month. I do believe that we're gonna see her at some point, maybe with our Clash of Wills unit, that'd be cool. Or I don't see her happening on the Halloween banner, not at all. So my guess would be together with the Clash unit. So yeah, Mediena is a super limit burst unit, a super strong one. If you've listened to last week's news coverage with Sinsar, I was on that too. Both of us are very excited for Mediena because she is really good. Her super limit burst, as you can see down here, 135 Ice and Peril. That is how it's supposed to be, by the way. 135 Ice and Peril. Why can't Paus have that? But yeah, it's really nice. It's a good super limit burst. That's exactly what you want. And that is why I am looking forward to Mediena. And I put Blue Mage Fina on the list again, but I don't think she is going to happen. And the reason is Blue Mage Fina got released with the start of Season 4, or Story Season 4, and the global server is still on Season 3, and I believe we will have the last chapter of Season 3 in November, or at the end of October. So I don't think we are going to see Blue Mage Fina in October, but I'd like to have her just in case. Maybe they will release her anyway, because Gumi doesn't really care that much for consistency. So yeah, what does she do? She's a light amper, as you can see, top one. Light imbue, 25 light amp, and some ferricler, 150, which is good to all allies. So that is good. Other than that, just generic stuff. And in her Brave Shift, she also does some damage, but it's nothing really too fancy. It's a 120x, 30 hits. Extreme Nova LB, which should tell you the whole story that it's never gonna get used. She's mainly for supporting stuff here, 125 light, Imperil, etc, etc. So nothing too fancy. It's really all about her 150 ferric killer for the party. That's why people are looking forward to getting Blue Mage Fina's NVA. So yeah, and this is my release prediction. So I believe that we're gonna see Roca next week on October 7th, followed up by a global exclusive Clash of Wills unit for October 14th, potentially coinciding with the next Clash of Wills. And yeah, on October 21st, I think it's time for Paus and Item World again. And on October 28th, just in time for Halloween, we're gonna see a Halloween unit. And again, I do want to stress that I don't think we'll see Blue Mage Fina. She's just she got released alongside Season 4 on the JP server, and Global isn't here yet. But we'll see about that. And that is pretty much it for the month of October. So the JP units we are getting, not exciting, but it's all about global exclusive units these days, and it's hard to predict what we're getting. So the DS videos, they are, while I do predict correctly, I feel like with so many global exclusive units, these videos, they kind of lose their purpose because we have no idea what's happening, right? But anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a great Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're from. And we'll see each other tomorrow for some Tomb Raider stuff, I guess. I'm not gonna be pulling. I will wait for Clash of Wills news to see whether Lara Croft is actually worth it. But I'll do something. I'll think about it. Bye bye.